Welcome back, generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 hour to make the best game ever. Good, so we probably want to create the pull request that we had prepared yesterday for the branches. Yeah. Okay, so what do? We first need to create branches, right. Okay, then let's do that. So we need to create a branch for fix money player index. That's number one. That one will cherry pick this one. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, well, that's not good. Let's go back to main. What we can do? Hold on. We do reset current branch to here. There we go. No, actually, hold on. We can do here. Reset current branch to here. Hard. There we go. Number one. Then we create a new one. Implement free build debug. Then we cherry pick this guy. Then next is key mappings. Implement ignore, so remove prereq, free builds, key mapping. And the next one is enable or implement remove prereq, instant builds, free builds, multiplayer. Okay. Implement. Okay. Then we go here, implement free build debug. We already have that. Yep. Then remove mapping. Where is it? Here. Cherry pick. And then we have this guy. Cherry pick. Done. Okay. Okay, cool. Then the first we push is this guy. Yeah. All right. Good. So this is minor bug audio. And it's only in 0 this fixes the broken money deposit withdraw audio. Can fix broken money deposits. Fix broken money deposit and withdraw audio. Academy income records. Fix broken money deposit and withdraw audio and Academy income records. The issue is caused by copy that note. Should we maybe make the constructor, the copy constructor private? Yeah. Money. Const money. CVP 11 equals delete. It should be, can make it private, right? Why is this complaining? Member function with the same name as a class must be a constructor. Is it not? Huh? What am I missing here? Ah, I was thinking copy construct assignment operator. There we go. Okay. Can do that, yeah. Let me call this but this needs to be replicated in generals. Money.h. Oh, money.h. Also prevent copy. One fails. Oh. Oof. Okay, so it needs to be copyable. Maybe we then say it can be copied, but only the money value is copied. Money, other dot money. And then on assignment we say not changing player index. Then we can do the same here in the constructor maybe. Not changing. So global data is the only place, or is there more? There's more. Okay, anything else? What is this? Pushback. Deposits. Yeah, maybe we just fix it. Yeah. I'm not so sure if we really should not copy the player index. I would say we don't touch it. It would be reasonable to maybe do that, but I'm not sure. Like someone might expect that the index is copied as well, right? You could claim that both strategies are correct, not copying the index or with copying the index. So I'm really not sure here. me add a comment here. Spare guys. Bug fix. Now no longer now deposits the cache instead of calling the copy constructor. Instead of using the assignments operator. Note that assigning not that copying money, not that copying the money class will also copy the player index side of it. Which can not deposits the cache correctly to avoid and not deposits the cache correctly and fixes audio and academy issues. Copying the entire money class will also copy the player index inside of it. Now correctly deposits the cash, the money. Edit comments. Here we say would this fixes the broken money deposit and restore audio and academy income records. The issue is caused by copying the money class after the player index was set on player, after the the money player index was set on player initialization. Another an alternative fix here would be to exclude money player index from copying. It is 0 hour specific because generals did correctly deposit the money. Did deposit the money correctly. Was already set. In the money copy constructor money class. Alternative fix or supplementary change here would be to exclude not 100% sure if that meets expectations for money. I noticed this issue when testing. I noticed this money issue when testing the free builds debug commands. Okay, so we got that. Good. Then the next change will be implement free build debug. merge after this. This change implements the free build debug command. It works. Previously, originally, everything was in place except for actually treating the money value. Everything was in place for this debug command except for actually treating the money value. Modifying. This change requires to work properly. Okay, so this is debug minor. Debug minor. Gen ZH. Okay, next will be the add default key mappings. Yeah. That is already added in both games, right? Yeah. This change adds default key mappings. Yes. they are missing records. They're missing record definitions, key mapping definitions in debug command set.ini. Is that the correct name? Command map demo. They're missing key mapping definitions. Probably. Okay, they missing key mapping definitions in that. A default key mapping for instant builds does exist and is mapped to Alt plus F. So this is debug minor gen ZH. Okay, and there's that. Okay, and the last one is this guy here. Oh, this one has not built. Oh boy. Oh boy. Building legality. Okay, so this change implements this free build, implements this implements the following debug commands to be usable in multiplayer. All players need to enable the commands at about the same time. Otherwise, the game would mismatch. Would rightfully mismatch. For instance, builds, I added some safeguards to avoid toggling it in multiplayer when unfavorable conditions exist that would prevent a successful toggle. ignore requisites. Players can, all humans can build tool tech tree. All humans can build everything in 1 second. All humans can build everything for free. All humans get all sciences slash general's powers. AKA general's powers. These commands are useful for testing things quicker. Very useful for testing things quicker in multiplayer. Quicker. Maybe make it a table, commands. Maybe we also say the key mapping, what it does. So this instant build is Alt plus F. Free build is Alt plus B. Ignore prereg is Alt plus P. And give all sciences. Shift Alt Control K. No. Yeah. Shift. Oh my gosh. Shift Alt Control K. Okay. Okay, and this one is a follow-up for Yeah, merge after this one, right? Merge after and after this. And after this. Yeah. Merge after that. Okay, this is also debug minor generals and 0 hour. And we still need to replicate it in to do replicate in generals. I wonder, maybe we should change the title and instead of quotes, we just use this symbol. It's a bit, or we just don't use any symbol. I think it's fine. Maybe we should write it like this. Yeah. I think that looks a bit better. It's here it looks a bit busy with these quote symbols, right? Yeah, I like it not look so busy. Should be easy on the eyes. That's the goal, yeah. I think that looks a bit better. Okay, cool. Okay, why is this failing to build? Probably one of the targets is failing, right? Where's it? Here. Debug tools. Debug tools extras. Okay, that's interesting. The player list undeclared identifier and money. Okay. Money. This one. That player list is here. The player list undeclared identifier. Where's this defined then? It is a player list. I don't understand. Why is this symbol not known? We include player list here. It should work. Huh? Huh? Ah, it's in generals. Ah, it's not in 0 hour. I see. Money.cpp. Money.cpp. Okay. Ah, there we go. Player list. Fix generals compile error. Okay. Okay, cool. Then we got that fixed, yeah. Okay. Good. So with these guys pushed, I think we can delete the TMP. Oh, we can leave that for now. Good. Then maybe we can do a little bit of reviews. Let me see what is new here. Let's take a look at this one here. What is this here? Oof. A million changes. Yeah. There's a lot of changes here for World Builder. Good. There's no evidence that this was clearly a design decision or intention. This is contradicted by both the original manual and the in-game description, which states that the bonus applies to horde bonus. Well, The ini comment. The ini comment says. The ini comment is pretty clear with. Or the troops with nationalism fire their weapon on additional. It at least worth a thought. Also, I think there's another evidence for this. Let me build. Ugh. Let's stop build. Cancel. Let's go to main branch. Let's build again. I think, if I'm not mistaken, also when you have nationalism, the nationalism upgrade, and when you have the nationalism upgrade and you have tanks or tank hunters, then it shows then the horde icon changes, right? I will show. And think that is evidence that also this effect was I have to show it first before I talk. Yeah. But listeners who know nationalism upgrade, they probably already know what I'm talking about. But let me pull it up just so we can see it. Yeah, so I think that General Camo is not right with his observation, contradicted by both the original manual and the in-game description, which states that the bonus applies to Horde bonus specifically. I think he misunderstood what I wrote. It's not clear to me if you misread my comments. It's not clear to me if you misread my comments. I'm claiming that the intention was that nationalism was meant to apply to hordes. The ini comment is pretty clear on this. Yeah, and now let's see in the game. So if we go, let's make a resolution a bit larger so you can see well. Yeah. So we go to a skirmish match and we take China. Yeah. China. And then we, oh wow, the scroll is so slow. And then we build a bunch of, let's do instant build here. So, and now as you can see, they have this red star, right? Here. For the horde bonus. And if I split these guys, then it disappears. Now the horde bonus is gone, right? If we have 5 together, there's a horde bonus. Yeah, and if I now build a propaganda center, and by the nationalism upgrades for the 25 to horde bonus, now they have this yellow circle here, and if I move them away, you see it disappears. So clearly this was meant to apply to horde. Yeah. Also, as you said, the tooltip is clear on this. Horde. Yeah. Fanaticism. Nationalism. And let me take a screenshot. And the terrain decal of the nationalism hordes is also pretty clear. It's also clear on this. I think you misread my comments. I'm claiming that the intention was that nationalism was meant to apply to hordes. Still, this change is controversial because it does change gameplay significantly. It does significantly affect gameplay. It significantly affects gameplay, and therefore needs to be treated with care. Tooltip. Yeah. I think he just misread what I said. He probably thought that I meant that the original bug, that it would apply to non-hoarded units, was the intention. That's my impression, what he read out of what I wrote. I'm not sure if I was unclear. This clearly was the original intent design. I think that is pretty clear. it's a comment on this. If Horde and nationalism, I say this was clearly the original design intent. And then he says it contradicts. And somehow he says it contradicts what I said. Okay, I think he just got it wrong. Yeah, we probably both mean the same thing. Yeah. Sometimes misunderstandings can lead to arguments when they should not, right? Yeah. Good. So, Mhm. 3 seconds just to launch the game. Please don't merge this. Mods have plenty of opportunity to customize the loading screen, the one after the intro and menu shell map. The player also has plenty of time to see that what game they launched by observing the intro shell map. 3 seconds just to launch the game. Isn't the whole point of the splash screen to show you something while you wait for the game to load? So don't try launching it again. What is mods have plenty of opportunity to customize the loading screen, the one after the intro. A menu shell map. The player also has plenty of time to see what game they launched. Okay, but then what is the point of seeing the splash screen for 0.5 seconds? Isn't the splash screen part of the initial presentation? I see the splash screen as part of the initial presentation of the game. Like for me, the splash screen, the splash image is not merely a placeholder, but a means of presenting a means of presenting the launching game title, like the videos, like the EA and Sizzle videos. Yeah. Of the initial game presentation. Yeah, I'm not a fan of like seeing the splash screen for half a second. Like, because then the splash screen is pointless, right? In a way. Like you see it for like, let's launch it and let's look at it. Yeah, so quit the game. So we launch. Let's launch it with quick starts. Yeah. Debugging. Bin quick starts. Yeah. Okay, so we launch it. Okay, that was actually, we were able to see it for a moment there. Let's launch it again. was visible for 1.5 seconds or so. Yeah. Let's launch it without debugger, then it should be much faster, I think. English. Yeah. Oh shit, I launched it in full screen. That wasn't the intention. Yeah. Okay, that took a bit longer. Yeah. It takes maybe a second now. 1 second. Yeah. Roundabouts. Yeah. Around the 1 second we see it. So I don't know. For me, it's. I mean, I can understand the argument that it should launch as quickly as possible, but for that we have the quick start command line argument, right? So if you want to skip all this presentation stuff at the beginning with the videos and the shell map and the splash screen and so on, then you just put in the quick start and you're good to go. And for like the regular presentation, you see a bit more stuff, right? You see the splash image, you see the EA logo, you see the sizzle video, you see the shell map, right? So there's more onboarding presentation, which I think is good, right? It's like a nice sequence of things you can look at when you launch the game the first time, right? So I can understand that they want to have performance first, but I'm seeing it from I'm looking at it not just from a usability standpoint, but also from an aesthetical standpoint, from a presentation standpoint. Like how, like so for example, there is a case to make that gameplay and so on cannot be the only focus, or like absolute player experience, but also the presentation experience is important, because in the end the game presentation is what ends up on YouTube streams and videos, right? So the game presentation, and if the game presentation looks good, then this is also good for the game, because then players are interested, and things like this, they add to the presentation. Whereas if you launch the game and you see the splash screen for half a second, you don't barely have a chance to look at it, then it looks kind of odd. But if you can see it for a moment, then you can appreciate the art of the splash screen, before the game then continues to load in. So I don't know, for me, it's like presenting the game in a nice way is also valuable, because it matters, right? For presentation and for players who launch it the first times. Yeah. So I would like to have it. I guess we can make a vote. Yeah. Then let me say this is controversial. Ed Legionnaire, can you please decide what to do is this let me it also shows in live streams on YouTube. And I don't clarify that. It is controversial. Go change. Slightly controversial code change. For me, either way is fine. If they don't want it, fine. I would expect that it works like this, that you see the splash screen for a moment. Sure, it doesn't add anything. Like, it's counterproductive to this, to the launch of speed, to the speed of launch. But you can always launch fast with quick start, right? So yeah. I don't know. I think it has advantages and disadvantages on both sides, right? Yeah. Certainly, like, launching fast is nice, but seeing the splash screen is also nice. So yeah. Good. Okay, what do we have here? I stick right there. Unfortunately, we can't tamper with any of the uninitialized player slots, as all players in the playlist are transferred as part of the CC. Okay. I did try messing around with player slot 0 to see what I could do, but the game started to throw a fit since the game wanted to start filling certain fields with data that it couldn't find. I think a future fix once we break compat. By the way, regarding the money, is there a CSC in here? No, good. We can't tamper with any of the uninitialized player slots. Transfer as part of the CSC. I did try messing around with player slots here to see what I could do. Future fix, once a break combat, will be to properly fix and create an invincible and fleshed out neutral player, but it is going to take data and code. I think to get around the problem that this fix was meant to resolve is going to be a null check, where the player template is being called and causing the original crash issue. Null check. Going to be a null check where the player template is being called. Get around the problem that this fix was meant to. It's going to be a null check. Okay. Okay, how about we merge some of the approved changes that we have up? Oh, this one was ready to merge, right? Don't just power plants that are still under construction. Let's say no longer just power the power level for disabled power plants that are still under construction. Disabled power plants still under construction. For disabled power plants that are still under construction. Players. No longer just the player's power level for disabled power plants. No longer just the power level for this. I think that's good enough. Okay, then we can merge this and this and this. Enable chat function. Enable chat. How about we just say enable chat for observers? Done. Chat for observers. How about we say enable all chats? All chats. No. Global chats. Enable global chats for observers. The team chat doesn't work, but the global chat does. Yeah. Global chats. Well, it's a bit misleading when we say global chat. It implies that they can chat to live players as well. Let's just keep it chat. Enable chat for observers. There we go. This one here also needs oh, it needs to be merged after this one. Fix diplomacy. Fix diplomacy screen and chat. Diplomacy screen. I think there was more. Hold on. Tooltips, tabs, and chat. Tooltip. Fix diplomacy screen. Tooltip. Tooltips and chats. Diplomacy screen. Accessible directly after surrender. Working. Fix diplomacy screen. Tooltips. Write it all. Fix diplomacy screen. Is tooltips one word or not? Tooltip. Seems to be one word. Fix diplomacy screen, tooltips, and chat not working after surrender. Fix diplomacy screen, tooltips, and chat not working after surrender. Fix chan. It's a bug actually. Bug. Bug chan. It's a GUI bug. Okay. Proof. Very good. Fix diplomacy screen, tooltips, and chat not working after surrender. There we go. Regarding this one here, let me assign that to Legionnaire. Legionnaire should make a decision then, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so remove unnecessary null pointer tests. Okay. Okay, this one we can resolve. Okay. Enhancement chain minor 0. Oh, okay. Resolves merge after related to. I don't know why it always says he co-authored. What is this? Reduction becomes permanent. Milestone, major bug fixes. No retail, USA. Okay. Confirm squash match. states. It's yeah, so this here, this is definitely obsolete because it would have crashed already here if this was null, right? Attack fire weapon state. Let me see that. Let me double check all these guys. So this one has an madd here and it's set on construction. And there even is an assert here that it's not null on enter. Yeah, and it's assigned here in the constructor. Yeah, it's not expected to be null, so that is fair. Okay, this one looks good to me. What about this one here? Team. Let's search for this. Oof, there are multiples. Silly, but let's search for this comment. Jesus Christ, this also exists multiple times. It's this here, right? Yeah. Needed to scope ETA, silly MS. Right. What is this here? Dear fencing null pointer team, yeah. Right. Right, so if this was null here, then it would crash here. Right. And that means we can remove this null check here. Yeah. That looks fine to me. And this one here, there's multiple things. Find patch path. Okay, there are multiple functions. Find safe path. Object. Object. If object. So here we have a null test. And here we don't. Let me see. If not object, okay, it would treat it. Yeah. What's going on here with the blackness? What is this? Okay, so this one also has a null test. But this one does not. So if this was null here, then it will go down here and it would crash here. Yeah. Let's see the next one. Same story here. I would have crashed here already. So that's nonsense. Next. Ah, there's two. Objects down here. Okay, same story here. It would have crashed before already. Okay, patch path. Patch path, objects. Here, same story. It tests here. And here it would have crashed. Yeah, so that's useless as well. Next. Get move. Away from path, objects. Okay, so here tests, and here tests. There's a test in here, but here it doesn't test, and here it would crash. Yeah, so that is also useless. Mm-hmm. 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 Next, objects. Objects, this one has a... What is this? This one, object, other objects. Here, objects. Yeah. Ah, okay. So if this was null, then it would crash here already. Yeah. Hmm. 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 So that's a useless null test. What about this one? Objects. Here we have null test. Okay, fair enough. Here as well. Here's some assignment, and then it would crash down here. Hmm. And there. Let me see the call pattern of this function. Objects. 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 Find path. Here's no null check. Yeah, just up here. Close this path. If not object, return null. Then this here is also useless check. Down here. This as well. How about... let me change to that branch. Number 10. Number 10. Okay, let's rebase it to latest main. So here we can certainly remove that and that. Let's look at this one more time. So objects. Let's see where it's being called here. So find safe path objects. Object is if it was null, it would crash here already. Yeah. Next. Yeah, if this was null, it would have crashed here already. Yeah. And if this was null, it would have crashed here. And if this was null, it would have crashed here. If this was null, it would have crashed here. This one is interesting. Here we have null checks for all objects for some reason. It's weird that the Pathfinder has like a mixture of null tests and non-null tests for object. It's weird. Like, why would we call this guy without an object? Is there a use case for that? Find path without an object. Is that a thing? Is that possible? Find a short valid path between given locations. Uses A-star algorithm. Alternatively, what we can do is add null checks for all objects inputs, for all objects arguments. It appears it was the original. Seems that was the original intent. To me, it looks like the intent here was to say, okay, find a path between these coordinates, and the object is optional. It probably only ever is used with an object. Yeah. Is there any good reason why one would want to call this function without an object? Is there any reason why one would want to call this function without an object? By the way, is this the only find closest path? Yeah, maybe we should add null checks to everything. I don't know. Okay, I think we'll take a break here. Honestly, I think the short splash is not an issue. Splash screens are more of an old hangover from the days when old times were quite slow and modern games did away with the concept. let me copy Mauler's feedback also in there. Mauler. Good. I will take a break here. It has been 2 hours already. Jesus. Oh. Okay. Well, then have a great day or night until next time. Goodbye.